An adventurous voyage. Ani lived in front of the Dolphin Nose beach at Visakhapatnam. There was a vast field of sand spread out in front of his house, and the unending ocean beyond that. Ani's dad worked in the shipyard. He was a technician. He used to often travel on ships for far-off sea voyages as well. He always had exciting and adventurous tales about the sea, tales about violent and unyielding sea storms, and tales about getting into the sea to repair the propeller fan of the ship, etc. Ani always looked forward to these stories and was ever keen to know more about the sea and the world in its depths. But he was still too young to go into the sea. He was only 6 years old. One night, there was a violent storm in the sea. There were tall waves rising and crashing with loud thunder running over each other. Ani stood at his window and witnessed this war game silently. He was wondering, why was the sea so angry tonight? In the morning, everything was normal, just like before, and Ani was allowed to go play on the beach. He was busy playing in the sand when he heard someone crying. He went closer to the rocks. Behind the rocks, he saw a rainbow-colored fish, swimming in all directions frantically, crying very faintly. Ani was very surprised. He had never seen such a beautiful fish in his life. He gently asked the fish, "Can I help you in any way? Please do not cry." He was even more surprised when the fish answered in his own language, saying, "Yesterday, I got caught in the high tide due to the storm while I was playing with my friends. It all happened too fast, and when I opened my eyes, I was laying in this small ditch. I am too far from the ocean, and the water has receded. I will get stuck here and will die. I will never be able to go back to my home and my family." The fish started crying again. "No, that won't happen. I will help you," said Ani. "What is your name?" he asked. "I am the princess of the underwater kingdom, and my name is Mukuchi," she said coyly. "Mukuchi, please do not be afraid. I have an idea. I will get a small bucket from my house and put you in it along with seawater. Then I will transfer you to the ocean and you can go back to your family." The fish was very happy. Ani returned with the bucket in 5 minutes and, as planned, transferred the fish back to the ocean. The fish dived and jumped in the water and danced around with joy. She said, "Ani, you're very kind, and I cannot thank you enough for all your help. How can I ever repay your debt?" Ani said, "No big deal, really. This was my duty to help you. I am also very happy that I was able to help you. Now you can go and meet your family." Mukuchi suddenly had an idea. She said, "Would you like to come and visit my home in the ocean?" Ani could not believe his ears. He had always dreamt of going into the ocean and knowing more about the underwater world. He asked tentatively, "How is that possible? How can I go underwater? I will not be able to breathe." Mukuchi smiled and said, "You leave that to me. Just tell me if you want to come with me to see my home on the ocean floor. Annie nodded profusely. She blew a big rally of bubbles, and finally there was one big enough to enclose Annie completely. Now Annie could breathe easily underwater and also see all the beautiful scenes around him. He was giggling uncontrollably. Mukuchi also laughed and asked Annie, "So, all set for an adventurous trip?" Annie replied in excitement, "Oh yes, let's go." Mukuchi gave him a gentle push and Annie began wobbling with the waves. He reached the deep ocean in no time and he found himself standing in front of a beautiful palace. The palace was built of corals and shells and was decorated with seaweeds all over. There were thousands of beautiful multicolored fish moving in and out of the various gates in the palace. Some seemed to be busy working, while others seemed to be busy playing games. Annie realized that the ocean was very calm at that depth. It was green and aquamarine blue and seemed to vibrate to the gentle music of the waves above. The fish added dabs of color, which made the scene look like a big moving painting. He thought for a moment that he was dreaming, but then Mukuchi's voice drifted back to him. She was explaining all about her world in a very simple manner. Time seemed to have drifted very quickly because Mukuchi said, "Annie, I hope you like this visit. I need to tell you that this bubble can stay for only 1 hour, and so we will have to go back now. I promise I will take you on another adventurous trip whenever you want next." Annie was very happy and thanked Mukuchi profusely. He was very happy with the underwater trip he had just completed and very glad to have earned such a good friend. He waved goodbye to Mukuchi and ran back to his house. Today, for a change, he would have a story to tell his dad when he returned in the evening. Word meanings. Technician, a person whose job relates to the practical use of machines. Frantically, having a lot of wild and hurried activity. Tentatively, uncertainly or hesitantly. Profusely, in large amounts.